Hi again, everyone. Gary Digital Williams here on Boxing Along the Beltway, our news and notes for this week. And we are entering an outstanding time for the Beltway. It actually begins a little bit more, just like 25 hours from when I'm recording this podcast as we speak. Okay, we'll talk more about that, and we'll give you the schedule. We'll give you a preview of what's going to happen at this time Friday night from the Centre Videotron in Quebec City, Canada. And of course, we will highlight the August-September schedule coming up, and it's going to be outstanding as well. So make sure you stay with us for that. And of course, the Box on the Beltway News and Notes podcast is brought to you by Real Time Pain Relief. Rub it on, the pain is gone in real time. And folks, if you go on to www.freepainoffer.com and you purchase $10 or more of real-time pain relief, then you can text free offer. That's free offer to 90407, and you can receive a free $10 tube of real-time pain relief. And I tell you, this stuff works all up and down the body. Anywhere you have a pain, we can rub it out in real time with real-time pain relief. So don't forget, you can text free offer to 90407 after going on to www.freepainoffer.com, and with your first purchase of $10 or more of real-time pain relief, you can get a free $10 tube of real-time. So make sure you stay with us, stay with real-time pain relief and purchase it. It works, believe me, no question about that. Now, let's talk about what's going on actually, like I said, just about 24 hours from now in Canada, and that is Thomas Top Dog Williams Jr. out of Laurel, Maryland. He is going after the WBC Light Heavyweight Championship of the World when he takes on the champion, Adonis Superman Stevenson, Friday night, July 28th at the Centre Videotron in Quebec City, Canada. You can see the bout live on Spike TV, part of the PBC on Spike. It is the main event on that card. And this is a great bout, and I really believe that Thomas Williams has a legitimate chance to win this title. I think it'll come down to Thomas's defense. If he can avoid some of the power blows that Stevenson can throw and be able to throw some of his own, which he has done in recent bouts, he might be a new world champion for the Beltway. It's a very interesting bout. Both guys coming in under the light heavyweight limit. They weighed in earlier today. Thomas Williams came in at 174.6 pounds, and Adonis Stevenson came in at 173.6 pounds. Now, Stevenson has not fought since September. He knocked out Tommy Carpensy in his last bout, but Thomas Top Dog Williams Jr. is a better fighter than Tommy Carpensy. It's just that simple. And he has been in the bright lights before, and he's one of the more exciting fighters TV has seen in quite some time by virtue of his last win over Edwin Rodriguez that gave him this title shot. And I really believe that Williams has an opportunity, has a good chance to win this title. A lot of people are picking an upset here against Adonis Stevenson. I think Adonis Stevenson is a solid boxer, no question about that. But I think his possible length of time being off out of the ring, 9 months, may prove damaging early on. And Williams is going to come forward. There's no question about that. He's going to come forward and do what he does. Now, if he can avoid some of the shots that he'll get in return from Stevenson, I think Williams can win this title. No question about that. So that'll be on the main event, 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Spike TV. Now, one of the bouts that'll be on television, I've been told it will be on television on Friday night, matches two guys from the Beltway. We talked about this last time out. Damon Nicholson out of Laurel, Maryland, taking on Emmanuel Alim from Richmond, Virginia. Now, Richmond, Virginia, a little bit further down the Beltway than most of our boxers that we consider Beltway boxers. However, Alim has a lot of ties to this area. He and his brother Moshe have fought here as amateurs and as pros for a while. They train here in the area on a regular basis, and so they are very familiar. And I know their father really asked me in a very polite way to consider both Emmanuel and Moshe Alim as Beltway boxers, and I've decided to do so because they are very representative of this area. They have done a lot more in this area than they have done in the Richmond area. And we definitely will do that. This is going to be a tough bout. Nicholson has one loss. Aleem is undefeated. This bout could go either way. Nicholson has the power. I think he has more power than Aleem. Although Aleem has done well in his last two bouts, I think Aleem has fought better competition overall than Nicholson has. And he's had some tough bouts in his last two bouts, but he's come out a winner. He's undefeated. So this one could go either way. It's going to be a tough fight to call. And I like both guys. So in many ways, on a personal level, it'll be a tough fight to watch. But I think on a boxing level, this will be very interesting to see what happens. So Damon Nicholson and Emmanuel Aleem scheduled to be on the undercard and scheduled to be on the televised portion of the undercard on Spike TV. Of course, the broadcast, as I said, gets underway at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on the PBC on Spike. Should be very interesting indeed. And that kicks off what is going to be a very, very busy time and exciting time for the Beltway as we leave July, heading into August, and even heading into September as well. So that'll kick off on Friday night as well, July 29th through the 31st, when the Mayor's Cup comes to Washington, D.C. It'll be at the Ridge Road Recreation Center. That's located on 600 Ridge Road Southeast in Washington, D.C. Now, the event kicks off Friday night, July 29th at 6 p.m. Saturday, July 30th, action gets underway at 11 a.m. And then Sunday, the championship day, will kick off at noon. And I don't see any prices, so I believe the event is free. I'm not sure, but I believe the event is free. And I haven't seen anything to the contrary. But as I said earlier, and I'm going to kind of expound on this a little bit, the Mayor's Cup at one time was, if not the premier amateur boxing show in Washington, D.C., it was right up there. I mean, the history of the Mayor's Cup goes back to the mid-'80s. Marion Barry, the late Marion Barry, who was mayor for many terms, many years in Washington, D.C., was a huge supporter of this event. And a who's who of boxing talent has fought in this event over the years. When you look at Hall of Famer Mark Too Sharp Johnson, Keith Holmes, Sean Bay Mitchell, I believe DeMarcus Corley fought in it few years. Mark Too Sharp Johnson fought in, he was a little guy there. Gary Rock Payne, Daryl Coley, out of town boxers, Al Cole, former IBF Cruiserweight champion, Riddick Bowe fought in the tournament. Kennedy McKinney, former IBF world champion in his own right. Just some of the many, many, many legendary boxers, future world champions. And then, of course, in the case of both Riddick Bowe and Mark Too Sharp Johnson, future Hall of Famers participated in the Mayor's Cup. Now, the Mayor's Cup has not been in complete, has not happened every year. The last time I can remember it happened was way back in 2008. And I only know that because I was actually a part of it. I was doing the ring announcing for the event at that time. And that's the last time I remember having it there. So for it to come back, it's very good. And I think it's needed now for a number of reasons. Number one, as we've said time and time again, the junior division here in this area has been so good over the last couple months and years that this is a good place to showcase it in the historical significance of this event. For the guys who are trying to do well in the novice and the open division, this is an opportunity as well. At one time, was only only available for open boxers. I'm not sure if that's the case now. I don't think so. But it is a fantastic event and is a huge, huge event for DC. So that is this coming weekend, Friday, July 29th through Sunday, July 31st, the Mayor's Cup, 600 Ridge Road, Southeast DC at the Ridge Road Recreation Center. Friday kicks off at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, Saturday morning, 11 o'clock, and then Sunday afternoon at noon. Okay? Now, we move into August. Thursday, August 4th, Jake Snake Smith and Baltimore Boxing will have another amateur show, and it's entitled Rumble, Young Man Rumble. And it's, of course, a tribute to Muhammad Ali. And a number of great amateurs will be a part of this. There'll be a bout for the East Coast light heavyweight title as Cenk Plana, who I really like. He's out of, I believe, Hagerstown, Maryland, taking on Terrell Boyd out of Baltimore. And also could be the last amateur bouts for Joey Veazey out of Baltimore. And I've heard Nigel Fennell out of Salisbury, Maryland. He will have his last amateur bout on this card as well. And again, it'll be on Thursday, August 4th at Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. And it'll start at 8 o'clock. It's again called Rumble, Young Man Rumble. Outstanding promotional situation for Jake the Snake Smith. That's Thursday night, August the 4th. Then on Friday, August the 5th, Malik Iceman Hawkins out of Baltimore, Maryland, undefeated, 8-0, 7 KOs. He's scheduled to be in a 6-round bout at the Pechanga Resort and Casino in Temecula, California. The bout may be on the CBS Sports Network. And Malik Hawkins actually got some nice press out of Ring Magazine. The latest issue of Ring Magazine is it's not the complete. Ring Magazine put out about a month ago a total issue devoted to Muhammad Ali. This one, this is Muhammad Ali's on the cover of this issue, but it's not a complete tribute to Ali. And they have the New Faces segment in the Ring Magazine, a New Faces column. And Erickson Lubin, who's a great boxer, he is the lead story in that, but the other ones to watch, Malik Hawkins right at the top. So they're really excited about that. So if you want to read what Ring Magazine says about Malik, I would pick up that issue. It's on the stands now. Pick up the issue of the Ring Magazine. So Malik Hawkins, no word yet on his opponent, but that'll be on Friday, August 5th in Temecula, California, Pechanga Resort and Casino, 6-round bout, and it possibly could be on the CBS Sports Network. Then on Saturday, August the 6th, at the Oracle Arena in Oakland, California. This is on the undercard. Actually, I think it's the co-feature to Andre Ward's bout on that card. Ty Barnett out of Washington, D.C. He's 23-4-1, 15 KOs, taking on Maurice Mighty Mo Hooker, who is 20-0-2 and 11 KOs. I forget exactly where he's from. I do apologize for that. But this bout will be for the NABO Super Lightweight titles, a 10-round bout, and it's scheduled to be on HBO. If HBO decides to carry a second bout from this card, more than likely this will be it. So it's possible that Ty Barnett may be on HBO on Saturday, August the 6th from the Oracle Arena in Oakland, California. Ty Barnett has not fought since beating Daniel Atta in Washington, D.C. That was sort of his comeback fight after being off for about a year and a half or so. So Barnett could use a win here, big win against Maurice Hooker. If he can take this one, it'll be for the NABO Super Lightweight title. Friday, August 19th, we talk about this card, the card at the Crystal City Hilton in Arlington, Virginia. That is the card that features Michael Fox taking on Summer Martin. Also, the young heavyweight boxing card between, actually young in experience, that is, Mike Ballaghan, Silverback Ballaghan. He will be taking on Luther Lights Out Smith on that card. Devar Fajardi, a number of boxers. We talk about this card. We hope to give you more information about that card a little bit later on. Sunday, August 21st. Now, this bout has not been officially announced, but social media is saying it's a done deal, and as another all Beltway bout that I think, in all honesty, is a little early in happening because, again, there's nothing on the line, but it could be a very interesting bout indeed. Sunday, August 21st, it'll be at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, on the undercard of Errol Spence's next bout, and it matches two DC boxers who kind of know each other pretty well, actually. Okay? We have Kareem Remo Martin, undefeated, 8-0-1, 3 KOs, taking on David Day Grayton out of Washington, D.C., 14-1, 10 KOs. Now, both these guys at one time were in the same camp. They were both in the Headbangers camp. Grayton is no longer has not been in the Headbangers camp for quite some time. I believe he is being trained by George Peterson. So this is a very interesting bout. In fact, this bout kind of came in some ways out of what the bout between Damon Nicholson and Emmanuel Alim. The same two camps are going at it. Emmanuel Alim, David Grayton are in the same camp. And, of course, DeMond Nicholson, Kareem Martin are both headbangers. And out of that bout, that again will take place on Friday night, out of the Nicholson-Aleem bout, this Martin-Grayton bout came out. So this is very interesting indeed. Now, Grayton is 14-1 with 10 KOs, and he is coming off a pretty devastating loss to Brian Perella. That was back on June 4th, and that was a nationally televised loss on ESPN. So Grayton needs this win badly. The question is, does Martin have enough power to keep Grayton off of him? That's going to be interesting to see what happens there. So that is Sunday, August 21st. And again, has not been officially announced yet. I haven't seen any press release, but everybody involved says this bout is going to be a done deal. So we're going to move on from there. So that's Kareem Martin taking on David Day Grayton. And I believe the bout is scheduled for 8 rounds. I believe possibly 10, but I'm thinking 8 because Martin has never gone past 6. So we'll see what happens there. Then on Friday, September 16th, this will be at the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Dusty Hernandez Harrison will take on Thomas Cornflake LaManna out of New Jersey. Of course, Harrison out of D.C. And that bout will be for the USBA welterweight titles. A 10-round bout for the USBA welterweight title. Possibly on TV as a Rock Nation bout. So it's a possibly that bout could be on either Spike TV or possibly BET, where Harrison's last bout was. Of course, Harrison is 20-1, and LaManna, I don't know what his record is. I didn't look that up, but LaManna is coming off a win. Coming off a win, second round TKO, which led to him getting this bout. LaManna does not have a lot of power, and I don't know how he's going to keep Harrison off of him, and that will make this bout interesting. I don't know if he has enough to hit Harrison and hurt him at all. And it could be very similar to what happened to LaManna in his only loss, which was to a Beltway boxer, and that was when Antoine Douglas knocked him out. Now, at that time, LaManna was fighting more at the middleweight level. He's dropped down to welterweight. So maybe that power, it suits him better as a welterweight against Dusty Harrison. So we'll see what happens there. That's Friday, September 16th. That is a main event bout for the USBA welterweight title. It's a Rock Nation card. So possibly it could be on TV as well. So this is where we are, folks. And again, you notice there's not a whole lot of pro shows in DC, in this area, in the Beltway area right now. And again, it's because of the movement of our boxers. And how well they progressed. And we're hearing word that Jarrett Hurd is going to have another bout coming up. Gervonta Davis is scheduled to be in action. Gary Russell Jr. is scheduled to have his title defense against Oscar Escandón. And, of course, we have to remember, going back to August, a little bit early in the month, August 6th is when the boxing competition starts at the Olympics. And, of course, means Gary Antoine Russell in action there. So, and I had a chance to look at one of the magazines around the country, Sports Illustrated, and they had their listing of who they thought was going to win gold, silver, and bronze in the Olympics coming up, and Gary Antoine Russell's name was not there. So he had an opportunity to surprise some folks. One of the winner scheduled was picked to be a boxer from Russia, and of course, many people believe that all the Russian athletes should not be there because of the doping situation. I kind of disagree with that. I think the track and field athletes, they were the ones who were doing the doping. They should not be there, and they're not there. And that's the way it should be. But I don't know, that should trickle down. Some people think they should, but it should not trickle down to all the other athletes who have worked their tails off to get to this position. So I don't have a problem with other boxers, other athletes from Russia coming to the Olympics in Rio. But Gary Antoine Russell will start his quest for a gold medal on August 6th, Saturday, August 6th, when the competition gets underway in Rio. So we'll be following that along the way as well. So this is going to be a huge couple of months in the Beltway. Please follow myself, and I got to give a lot of credit to Juan Marshall, who's been doing outstanding work for Pro-Am Fight Talk. Some of the videos he's gone to interview a number of boxers in the area as they get ready for these big bouts. and just interviewed, let you know who they are. And I've had some issues at home, in my personal life that have kind of kept me from doing more than I have in this particular situation. So Juan Marshall has really picked up the load and done an outstanding job with it. So if you go to proamfighttalk.blogspot.com, or you go on to Juan Marshall's Facebook page, you can see all the work that he has done, and done outstanding work. Helping you get to know some of these great boxers before they move on to where a lot of the boxers are today, like Gary Russell Jr., like Thomas Williams, like Antoine Douglas, like Devontae Davis, like Jared Hurd, and so many others who are moving on and just becoming too good and too expensive for this area to fight on these cards. But again, the promoters deserve major credit for getting a lot of these, not only our own boxers, but boxers from outside the area have benefited. Again, you saw the card this past week with Jerry Odom on the ShoBox card, the 15th anniversary ShoBox card. You had 4 boxers on that card who have made appearances in the Beltway. You had, of course, Jerry Odom, who's from Bowie, Maryland. And you had the matchup between O'Shaquie Foster and Rolando Shenea and Ian Green. Now, Green, Shenea, and Foster, and Odom, for that matter, I think Odom has been on all of them have been on Jeter Promotions cards, Jeter Promotions, RBA Promotions cards. So Tony Jeter and Dr. Richard Ashby deserve a lot of credit for that. Of course, Keystone Boxing deserves so much credit because they've been a big factor in this. And then you have some of the other promotions. Actuality, Rolando Shenea made his pro debut in Maryland on the Jonathan Ogden Foundation card at the Martins Valley Mansion, Cockeysville, Maryland. He's been on a number of promoters' cards in this area. He's been on February July's Hardware Promotions card. Of course, he's been on a couple Jeter Promotions card. I know at least one Jeter Promotions card. And other promoters have used him as well, been able to work with him as well. So this is what we're doing in this area. We're not only preparing our own boxers for big time bouts, but we're also promoting and getting the chance to work with some outstanding boxers out of the area who are going on to some great features of their own. So, folks, I don't know how I can tell you better than the way I'm going to tell you. Don't just come to the big shows here. Okay? Come to the club shows. Come to the amateur shows, because our amateur program, outstanding work, both in the DC area, PVA, Tony Valley Association, South Atlantic Association, and Virginia's moving on as well, moving some great things as well. Before we go, let me just say this as well. One of our referees, Timothy Ryan, who was named the outstanding referee, I believe the last Golden Glove, not this past one, but the one before then, outstanding Golden Gloves referee. He lost his father this past early this month, and the funeral is coming up this weekend as well. So I just want to send my condolences to Tim and his family on the loss of Tim's father. But we're in a great proving ground right now. We are becoming a proving ground, not only for our own boxers, for other boxers around the country, and it's great to see. So it is going to be amazing time. So stay with us right here on boxonbeltway.blogspot.com. You can visit proamfighttalk.blogspot.com. Give you all the updates, all the details of what's coming up in the next few months right here in the Beltway. And don't forget, Friday night, beginning at 9 o'clock, Spike TV, Thomas Top Dog Williams Jr. taking on Adonis Superman Stevenson for Stevenson's WBC Light Heavyweight Championship. Also, Damon Nicholson battling Emmanuel Alim on the televised undercard. So make sure you stay with us in that. Of course, the Mayor's Cup this weekend as well. The Box On Beltway News and Notes podcast brought to you by Real Time Pain Relief. Rub it on, the pain is gone in real time. And you can go to www.freepainoffer.com. And with your first purchase of $10 or more on Real Time Pain Relief, you will receive a free $10 tuber pain relief if you text free offer to 90407. That's 90407. Text the words free offer, and you get a free $10 tube of pain relief, real-time pain relief. Rub it on. The pain is gone in real time. I'm Gary Digital Williams. Thanks for joining us, everybody, and look forward to seeing you at a Beltway boxing card near you. Until then, keep supporting the best boxing in the world, the boxing along the Beltway. Take care.